Good afternoon. So today we will see how we can use interface as in a polymorphic way. So here what I have done is we have three interfaces. Interface can fight, so void fight function, which is abstract function. So this is one interface. Another interface is can swim. So there is a method swim. And third is can fly and method is fly. And we have an abstract class action character and which also has method fight. Then I'm writing one uh, concrete class hero which extends action character and implements all these interfaces. Note that if you want to implement multiple inheritance using class as well as interfaces, class should come first. Extends should come first before implements. You cannot write class hero implements can fight, can swim, can fly, and extends action character. You have to write in this way. Now, when you say extends action character, you have to provide a definition for this method. When you say implements can fight, can swim, can fly, so this class, as it is not an abstract class, it is a concrete class, it has to provide methods, definition for these methods, fight, swim, and fly. So note that fight method has come twice. Here in interface can fight as well as in class action character. But in hero class, we are providing only one fight method. So this fight can be linked with can fight or action character fight at runtime. So here we have provided a body of method. Hero can fight, hero can fly, and hero can swim. So we have provided body for all these three methods. So this is our hierarchy. Hero extends action character, implements can fight, can swim, and can fly. Now what I have done in main is I have created four static methods T, U, V, and W. And for each method, I have passed this object. And these are the references in which I'm accepting this object. So I have created a reference of can fight interface, can swim interface, can fly interface, and action character class interface. So these are, sorry, action character uh, instance. It is not a reference. So these are only the references. These are not the objects, references, and method names are T, U, V, W. So in this T method, can fight can call fight method. All the methods from can fight interface. Can fight interface has just fight method, so x dot fight. Can swim interface has just swim method. Can fly interface has fly method, and action character has fight method. So only these methods are called from these functions. These are static functions. What is a static function? Static function means we didn't need an object to call that particular function. We can call a function without object, that is with the class name itself, or you can directly call the function like this. So in main, I have created object of our class, say hero Krish, new hero, and uh, I have passed this object to these functions T, U, V, W. But for in case of T, this object I'm assigning to interface can fight. And with this interface, I'm calling fight method. So it will call fight method. For this function, object I'm passing is the same object Krish, but it points to this can swim interface and it can call swim method from can swim interface. Same thing for can fly and action character. So as a user or as a third person, you can see that you are passing an object, but at the other end in implementation details, you are accepting this object in various references, and those references you are using to call the methods. So if you run this code, so object is getting created, hello Krish is equal to new hero. So control will go to the hero class. So control is here for hero class. So class hero extends action character. So control will go to action character. Even if we have not provided con- constructors, Java automatically call default constructors. And here we have didn't have any variables too. So you can see control has shifted to action class, abstract class action character. Now we are saying implements can swim, can fight, can fly. It will not go there. Now object is ready. So Krish is hero instance. Now we are calling a function T with this object Krish. So you can see that can fight X. X is a reference of can fight interface, and you're calling fight method from Krish object using Krish object and X interface. X, can fight interface reference X with fight method. So it will call this fight method. Fight method is provided in hero itself. So you can display hero can fly. Sorry, hero can fight. Can you see there are three references here? Krish, because Krish is the object. X is another name, or you can say an alias or a reference who is pointing to this Krish object, and this is the this pointer. When you are in this method, so this pointer points to the current object. Same thing for x dot swim. You're calling u function. So x dot swim will take the control to swim function, and it will display hero can swim and hero can fly. V function, we have x dot fly, and for action character w method, this Krish object we are assigning to action character s, and you're getting this output. Note that you can get the same output without calling these static functions. What you can do here is you can comment all these functions, and here you can create a reference of that particular interface. Can fight is equal to Krish. We are assigning object Krish to can fight interface, and you can call a method fight. You can assign can swim. You can create reference of can swim tu, and you can assign this Krish object and u dot swim. Note that you cannot call fight function with u, or you cannot call swim function with t. I'll just show you these two. This is one and the same thing. Instead of assigning it to the parameters or functions, you can create variables there in the main. So T and Krish are pointing to the same object, and T can call only the methods which are implemented by hero of interface fight, can fight. So you're getting the output hero can fight and hero can swim. Is it clear? Just two things to remember. First thing is, what is the interface? Interface is a list of abstract methods. A class can implement one or more interfaces. Interface can be implemented by one or more classes, And when you want to implement multiple inheritance and you want to inherit class 2, then class should come first before interface. For example, class A extends B, implements C, comma D, comma E, where C, D, E are interfaces. Then you can create a reference of interface or abstract class. You cannot create object of interface or object of abstract class. You can assign object to that particular reference, and you can call the methods of that particular interface with its reference. For example, can fight, T is reference of can fight interface, so T can call the methods which are in can fight interface. If you try to call another method with T, say T dot swing, you will get an error. You can call this method with Krish dot fight, Krish dot swim, Krish dot fly, it will work. But to use dynamic method dispatch, we have to create in a reference and then call the methods. Let's say method swim, variable T of type can fight. We cannot call this can fight method, or can fight interface didn't have swim method. So this will not work. Any queries about this? So this program is available on your slides. So interface can fight, can swim, can fly, action character, and you have created this action character. So how we can read this? Hero, which combines concrete class action character with the interfaces can fight, can swim, and can fly. When you combine a concrete class with interface this way, the concrete class must come first, then the interface. Otherwise, compiler will give you an error. What should we use? Interface or abstract class? So that is the question. We should go for abstract class or interface. So as per the different textbooks or the various people who are working on different projects in Java, as per their understanding, interfaces can give the benefits of abstract class. So it is abstract class. Abstract class can give 0 to 100% abstraction, but interface always gives 100% abstraction. So, and benefits of an interface. So it is possible if you didn't need any special method which should have a body or any variable which should be an instance variable, then it's always better to go with interface. So if it is possible to create your base class without any methods, definitions, or member variables, you should always prefer interfaces to abstract class. Unless and until it is must that you should have any concrete method or you should have any instance variables, then only you can go for abstract class instead of interfaces. Otherwise, always choose interface over abstract class. So in fact, if you know something is going to be in base class, your first choice should be to make an interface. And only if you are forced to have method definition or member variables, you can change it to an abstract class. So that the reference is polymorphic, which can define having many forms. We have already seen this. The line of code might execute different methods at different times if the object that obj points, oh, this is a repeated slide, I think. Note that interfaces can be extended. We can extend one class from other in inheritance. Class A extends B, class B extends C, like this. You can extend one interface from other interface. You're not saying implements, you're saying extends. So here is an example. I hope it is visible. So one interface can extend another. We have interface A with two abstract methods, meth1 and meth2. Now B now includes meth1 and meth2. It adds meth3. So how we can extend an interface? We are saying interface B extends A. This is very important. We are using this keyword extends instead of implements. When one interface is implementing other interface, it has to say extends. and it has its own method math3. So B has included this math1, math2 as well as math3. And if you have any class which implements B, so this class has to implement all these three methods, math1, math2 and math3. When you create object of this class, my class M or B is equal to new my class, and you can call these methods. Wait a minute. So interface A has two methods, math1, math2. B has math3. Class, my class implements B. So it has to implement all these three methods, and in class main, you have to create object and call these three methods. It's displaying implement method 1, method 2, method 3. This one, and this one. So one interface can extend another interface. About package. How many of you are using Eclipse or NetBeans? IDE for assignments.
Eclipse Map or sometimes the online GDB.
Okay. When you use Eclipse, when you create a new Java project, and when you click on your project and right click, there you can choose new, you can create new class, new file or new package. So you can compare, or you can just imagine that a package is nothing but a directory which stores all the things related to your project. Wait a minute, I'm showing you. So this is my NetBeans, and here first thing is you have to create a new project. In case of Eclipse, you have to choose, there is a list of projects, you have to choose Java project and Java application, and next, and you have to give name to your project. So project name is, say, assignment 1 or something, and then finish. So this assignment 1 gets created, a new project, and here can you see this keyword package assignment 1? So here NetBeans has provided me by default package assignment 1. Your class name is assignment 1, file name is assignment1.java, and main function. You can change these names if you want. In case of Eclipse, you have to create that your project and right click and new. There is a checkbox or a dialog box where you can choose new class, new file or new package. You can create your own package. So this is a package assignment 1. So in this package, suppose I have created a class. So this class is assignment 1. It has a variables integer a. I'm not uh, giving any access specifier as public or private. It has integer b. This has a constructor, say assignment 1, which will initialize this a to some value 10 and 20, and a method, say add, and I'm printing addition of these two numbers. Addition is here, I want to display a plus b. So a and b are accessible here in add function in assignment, as it is a part of this class assignment 1. In main, I can create object of assignment 1 is equal to, sorry, a1 is equal to new assignment 1, and I can call a method add. And how to run this code? So here in assignment 1, so in src, you can see assignment 1 and .java. Here we have to right click and run file. Or in case of Eclipse, you can see such buttons are there. You can run the particular project. So run file. So it is printing addition is 30. Now I can create another folder here or another package, and in that package I can create different class. So here can you see I want to show you this. I think it is visible. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is my, I have already created this package Java application 5. It has two different packages, main package and my vehicle package. So it is my vehicle package is, I have created three interfaces, fly and position system. So let me close this files. This is my hi-fi car.java class, hi-fi car, which extends car class and implements position system and fly. So what is position system? Position system means it is in package my vehicle. I have to, how to create a package, keyword package, and then name of your package and semicolon. So in my vehicle, you can see here my vehicle. In my vehicle package, uh, interface name is position system, and it has two void methods or abstract methods, show road ahead and search location. These are abstract methods in interface position system. I have another interface in the my vehicle package. You can see my vehicle fly, and I have two methods in fly interface, fly slow and fly fast. Then I have a base class vehicle, which is abstract base class. This abstract base class has three variables: registration number, horsepower, and cost. And this is an you can see abstract class can have constructors. So this is a default constructor which will initialize registration number, horsepower, and cost to default values. Then this is parameterized constructor which will accept variables from the user and assign it to these variables. Then there is a method called register vehicle registration number. Note that this is the concrete method. So it is displaying registration number, horsepower, and cost. And these two are abstract methods, start and stop. So these are abstract methods. So this is my class vehicle. It has variables, concrete method as well as abstract method. This is my abstract base class. Then I have inherited car class, public class car extends vehicle. So car class has added number of gears and AC, and it has its constructor, car constructor, and parameter constructor. Note that here I have used super to initialize super class constructor with these three variables. In super class vehicle class I have cost, registration number, and horsepower. So to initialize that I called super class constructor, and I have initialized these car parameters with these values. Then I have said that extends vehicle. So whenever we say extends vehicle, it is mandatory to include or to implement the methods which are abstract in vehicle class. So in vehicle class, we have seen there are two methods which are abstract, start and stop. So here we are overriding this comes automatically. Public void start, the car has started and the car has stopped. So we have provided these two overridden methods. And in car class, it has its own methods like go reverse. So car is going reverse. And start method, this is overloaded. This method is overloaded. Start with parameter. So this is start without parameter. This is with parameter. So this is overridden method. This is overloaded method. So we can say that this car is going in this number of gear, or what is the current gear, third, fourth, or fifth. So this is our car class. Then we have hi-fi car class. As I told you, we have hi-fi car class which extends car, implements position system and fly. But car is not abstract class. Car is a normal, or we can say concrete class, and position system and fly. So this is a constructor for hi-fi car class. We have not defined any variable for hi-fi car. We have fly fast method, which is implemented from fly interface. Means car is moving, flying fast, car is flying slow. This is slow method. These two methods are from fly interface. And we have position system interface two methods, show road ahead and search location. So these two methods also we have overridden. And start and stop also we can override from car. It is hi-fi car has started, hi-fi car has stopped. And hi-fi car has its own method Ferrari, and overloaded start method, and change gear method is also overloaded with parameters. And now we have to create object of hi-fi car class. Note that all these 5 files I saved separately. Hi-fi car class, when we say public class, we have to save it hi-fi car.java, name of our class dot extension. Position system, whatever the name of our class interface, which is a public interface, file name is position system.java. Fly interface, fly.java. Vehicle interface, vehicle abstract class, so vehicle.java. It should be a public class. And car, public car class car, so car.java. So all we have these 5 different Java files in one package, my vehicle. Now in main package, what I have done is, this is the main package. So package name is main package, and I have to import this package, my vehicle dot car, means all the classes from my vehicle package. Or what else you can do is, you can import my vehicle dot, instead of, it will show all these are interfaces and classes, or you can just put star, means all classes and interfaces. So either you can import individual class or interface, or you can import everything from my vehicle using dot star. Now here I'm creating object of car class. I have tried creating object of vehicle class. So it is giving me an error. Vehicle is abstract, cannot be instantiated. Can you see this error? Vehicle is abstract, cannot be instantiated. So you cannot create object of vehicle class. You can create object of car class. You can call car c1.start, c2, c1.stop, c1.registration vehicle. So all these three methods of car class. Then I have created object of hi-fi car class, and I can call methods of uh, in interface class, base class, and abstract class using h1. H1 is object of hi-fi car class. Change gear method, registration vehicle, Ferrari, start, stop, start with a parameter, fly fast, fly slow, search location, and show road ahead. So this is a very normal way to use object itself to call the methods of that particular class, or the class it inherits, or interface that it implements. So this is the normal way how you can write your code. But if you want to implement polymorphism or abstraction, so you cannot create object, but you can create a reference. So I have created two references of vehicle, which is a super class or abstract base class. Then I have created object of car and object of hi-fi car. Object of car, that is C2, I stored in first reference way, first reference of vehicle class, and object of hi-fi car I kept in second reference. So this is array of references. Vehicle v of is equal to new vehicle. Now, for loop for I 0, I less than 2, I plus plus, v of I dot start, v of I dot stop. So when value of I is 0, it will call start and stop method for car class. And when value of I is 1, it will call start and stop method for hi-fi car class. And this is one more way to call methods of interface. You can create reference of interface fly. You can assign object to that particular reference, and you can call this fly fast fly slow method with this reference of fly interface. You can call these methods with hi-fi car object h1, or you can assign that object to fly interface and you can call these methods. Same thing for another interface position system. You can assign this object to that reference and you can call the methods from that particular uh, interface only. If I try to call fly fast method, it is not there. So it has only these two methods. Dot, you can see here, it has only these two methods, search location and show road ahead, because these methods are defined in position system interface. And if you see f1 dot, it has just fly fast and fly slow method. But for h1 or h2 hi-fi car object, you can see all the methods are available: Ferrari, fly fast, fly slow, search, show road ahead, start, stop, etc. How to create a package? To create a package, you have to write before your code, this should be your first line, package and name of the package. And to import a package, we have to write keyword import, then package name and dot class name or interface name. You can have if you want to import, a package can contain another packages too. A package can contain classes and interfaces. So here my vehicle package has five, two classes and two interface, three classes, class, two interface, and one abstract class. So you can have multiple classes are saved in one package. I can show you my project. So for each what you can say module, you can create a different package. For example, here it is scene change. So here scene change.java, or split, image split.java. So these are in different packages. So you can check it. If it is working, then you can save it. Otherwise, you can create another package, another test case, and it helps you to create the same class name in different packages. So name complex confusion or collision is not there. So we'll go back to our slides. So let's see what is the package and directory. A Java package. Slides are visible. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Java package is a group of cooperating classes. Similar type of classes can be clubbed together in one package. So Java programs are organized into packages. Like in C or C++, you have seen header files. String.h has all the functions related to string, or math.h, all the functions related to math. So similarly in Java, we have all the cooperating classes, or classes belong to the same hierarchy, or the same similar kind of functionalities can be clubbed together in a package. Java API is application programming interface, is also organized as package. So indicate the package of a class as a top of the file. So first statement of your code should be package keyword and the name of your package and semicolon. Don't forget to write semicolon at the end. Classes of the same package should be in the same directory. So uh, whenever you create a package, automatically its directory gets created. And package in Java environment, we call it as a package, but if you can see at the end, it is nothing but a directory or a folder. So classes in the same folder must be in the same package. So in case of Eclipse, you can go to your workspace. You have to create first your workspace with your roll number or your unique name, and that folder gets created. And in that folder, if you're creating a project and then package, so for every new package, new directory gets created. So package is nothing but at the back end, it is a directory or a folder. So packages in Java is a mechanism to encapsulate a group of classes, interfaces, and sub packages. So encapsulates or it's a packaging group of classes, interfaces, and sub packages. Many implementations of Java use hierarchical file system to manage source and class file. So you can see that whenever Java program gets compiled, it gets converted to dot class. So we have separate folders for automatically generated folders for class file as well as source file, that is Java file. And so here in this case, our project is assignment 1. I have just created one uh, project, and all these folders automatically got created. Src source means assignment1.java. But if you go to nbuild or build function, and here assignment1.class file automatically gets created. So there is a hierarchical structure to store class files and source files, that is Java file, separately. Class file is a bytecode. Many implementations of Java use hierarchical file system to manage source and class file. You can find similar folders in Eclipse too, which stores only class files, which stores only Java files. It is easy to organize class files into packages. Java provides a mechanism for partitioning the class name space into more manageable chunks. So this mechanism is called package. So we have Java package. Then Java has multiple packages. These are examples: java.lang, java.util, java.awt. We have java.net and many more. So these are sub packages in Java. These are not classes. These are packages. Java.lang. We are using say string class is in java.lang package. We are using scanner class is in java.util package. So these are the classes: system class, system.out.println. System class belongs to lang package. Why we are not importing lang package in our Java program? Because lang package is automatically imported, or it is available in JDK. So no need to explicitly say import java.lang.star. So string class belong to lang package. Array list, map, or Java collection framework we have seen in previous sessions all belong to java.util package. Button, list, AWT, then swings, all this belongs to Java .awt package. So why packages? The package is both naming and visibility control mechanism. So can I use a class name, same class name, Yes, you can use same class name provided that these two classes belong to different packages. So I can have a string class in java.lang package and string class in my own package. So if I import functions, my own functions, I have to import it from my own package. So I can use similar class name as that of inbuilt class names. So preventing naming conflict, for example, there can be two classes with the name employee in two different packages. So one package can be college staff computer science engineering dot employee, and another class can be college dot staff electronic engineering dot employee. So for electronic engineering, there is a class employee, as well as for computer science and engineering, there is a class employee. So we can use same class name, but provided that it is in different packages. Then providing control access. We know that protected and default have package level access control. If we have not used public, for example, in this code, suppose in my class, here car class, I have not used public. Sorry. Uh, if this method is not public, sorry, this is a constructor should be public. Method, if it is not public, so by default it is default access specifier, and I am importing this car in hi-fi car, and here hi-fi car extends car, it is in the same package, so there will be no error. But wait a minute, I have to save this. And in assignment one dot vehicle, if I try to run this code, okay, it is calling go reverse from hi-fi car class, not from car class. Okay, if here I try to call c1 dot go reverse, go reverse, it will show an error, and this is go reverse is not public in car, cannot be accessed from outside package. So default access specifier is available only within a package. It has not given this error for hi-fi car class. In hi-fi car class, I can use any variable or method which is defined in that particular object. But whenever you are using inheritance or multiple inheritance, method should be public. Now this error is not there. You can call go reverse method from a outside class package. This is another package, this is one package. So if you define default variables or methods in this package and try to access from outside of another package, it is not allowed. So it is packages are mainly used for providing controlled access. If you want to share folder with only your project team, not with the others, then you can use default access. Protected member is accessible by the class in the same package as well as its subclass. So child which is not in the same package can access protected data variables. Default members without any access specifier is accessible by classes in the same package only. So we can define classes inside a package that are not accessible by code outside that package. We can also define a class members that are exposed only to the members of the same package. So we can decide who can access the data or methods, are either the classes or members from the same package or from outer packages. So how to create a package? To create a package, simply include package command at the first statement in Java source file. So your first statement in Java source file should be package and name of the package. Any classes declared within that file will be belong to the specified package. The package statement defines a name space in which classes are stored. So automatically namespace or folder gets created. So if a package statement is omitted, the class names are put into the default package. So in Eclipse, you can see default package is also available. You are not creating a package. All your programs are automatically stored in default packages. And this package has no name. So while the default package is fine for short sample programs like our assignments, but it is not adequate or it is inadequate for real applications. In case of real applications, you have to use packages. And this is the way to create a package. Package keyword followed by name of your package and semicolon. So you can have more than one files that include the same package statement. For example, here in this case, Hi-Fi car has the same package name, package my vehicle. Position system has package my vehicle. Fly has package my vehicle. So all these Java files will be stored under my vehicle. So if I create another Java file and write here package my vehicle, it will be automatically stored in this my vehicle package. So more than one file can include same package statement. The package statement simply specifies to which package the classes defined in this Java file belongs to. It does not exclude other classes in other files from being part of the same package. So in one package, you can have any number of classes, any Java files with any number of classes. Hierarchy of packages can be created. Simply separate each package name from the one above it by use of a period. So you can have like java.lang.scanner or java.lang.system. So Java is a package, lang is also a package. So you can separate these two packages with dot or period operator. Package cannot be renamed without renaming the directory in which the classes are stored. So note that when a package is used as a front end in your Java application or in your IDE, you call it as a package. And at the back end, where your files are actually stored, there it is a directory. So if you try to change a package name without changing the directory name, Java will not allow you. And we have already seen this access protection mechanism. So in a same class, you can access all members from the methods of from the same class, private, default, protected, and public. If you have a class and it is a subclass and it is in the same package, so it cannot access private members, otherwise it can access default, protected, and public. Private is accessible only for the same class. No modifier, that is default, is accessible only in the same package, whether it is subclass or non-subclass. It is not allowed outside the package or different package. Protected is allowed within a package as well as outside a package, provided that the class is a subclass. So in same package, it says yes. In different package with a subclass, yes. But in a different package without a subclass, no. Public is available everywhere, whether it is a subclass or not, whether it is in same package or not. And how to use this package? We need to import it. So Java includes import statement to bring certain classes or entire packages into visibility. So once imported, a class can be referred directly using only its name, as if that class is defined in that file. Like how we use scanner class, scanner sc is equal to new scanner, as if scanner class we have written or we have provided, or how we create, you have done the assignment based on string. So you have created object of string class, string str1 is equal to new string, as if string is your own class, right? So when you import any class, you can refer it directly, any class from that particular package. Import statement is convenient to the programmer and it is not technically needed to write a complete Java program. So this is how we can import package1 dot package2 dot dash dash till class name, or you can use start. In a Java source file, import statement occurs immediately following package statement. So if you have package statement, use package statement, and immediately that you have to provide import statement. Package followed by import statements. You should not have any class or any file in between. And before any class definition, this is a general form. Package 1 is the name of top level package. Package 2 is the name of subordinate package inside the outer package separated by dot. So there is no practical limit on the depth of package hierarchy. So we can have package 1 inside package 2, package 2 inside package 3, package 3 inside package 4, like this. This is called depth. So there is no limit. The limit is imposed by file system or your machine. How many classes can be stored on your machine? So finally, you specify either explicit class name or a star. Star means all. It will match with everything from that particular package, which indicates that Java compiler should import entire package with classes, subclasses, packages, interfaces, etc. So if I want to use date class, date is in util package, so I have to import java.util.date. Or if I want to carry out input output operations, I want to carry out input output operations on various input output uh, devices, then instead of importing each and every class, I will say java.io.star. So import is a keyword, Java is the topmost package, followed by this is also a package and this is a class. So sometimes it is important to know how to find the inbuilt packages and what is a class path. Packages are mirrored by directory. So package means directory, that is means folder. So how does Java runtime system know where to look for package that you create? You have your folder and you want to use it in one of the project. So you want Java compiler should find it out. Only writing import my class or my vehicle dot whatever, it is difficult for Java compiler to search entire system for your folder. So there are three parts. So there are three ways uh, to add your folder into the Java class path. First is by default Java runtime system uses current working directory as a starting point. So what you have to do is you have to copy your folder into the current working directory. So if your package is in subdirectory of the current directory, it is easy for a compiler to find out. If this is not possible, what you can do is you can specify directory path or paths by setting class path environment variable. This is what you have to do is manually you have to set class path. And third is you can use dash class path option with Java and Java C to specify path of your class. Like here, if you want to run this code, so in refactor, you can change or in case of Eclipse, we have to set a class path before executing it. So build project, and before build project you can set project configuration. This is by default, or you can go to customize and here you can set class path. So when you didn't have any package declared in your Java program, you didn't have package keyword followed by package name. By default, Java has default package mechanism. All the files without any package declaration are saved in default package. Default package is used mainly for small projects. Packages, we have to create packages for larger projects or group of classes. To summarize unit number 5, we have seen what are the interfaces, what are the abstract classes, how abstract class is different from interface, how abstract class is different from concrete class. Then we have seen the comparison, and we have seen the concept of dynamic method dispatch. We can create the reference and call child class methods. So interfaces are used to define behavior protocol. It is not providing the body of a method. It is just a behavior protocol that can be implemented by any class in the class hierarchy. Interface contains constant values and method declaration. Interface only declared and not implemented. You can implement one or more interfaces. Methods must be public, and data can be public, static, not or, it is static and final. So any queries about unit 5? Next lecture we'll take a revision of unit 5.